The screen is black. A low, resonant hum pulses in the background, like the heartbeat of a dying star. Your breath catches as the voice begins deep, deliberate cutting through the silence like a blade. It's not here to comfort you. It's here to break you open. You're sitting there, staring at the void of your life, wondering why it feels like you're drowning. You chase her, don't you? Her approval, her glance, her fleeting touch. You tell yourself it's love, but deep down, you know it's hunger, a gnawing, desperate need that claws at your soul. Napoleon saw it centuries ago, that brutal truth: women hold a secret power over men who are starving for meaning. And you, brother, are starving. Let me be clear. This isn't about women. This is about you. Your weakness, your surrender. You've handed over your power, your purpose, your very spine to a game you were never meant to win. And now you're lost, chasing shadows, begging for scraps of validation from a world that doesn't care. But here's the first truth: you're not a victim. You're a man who's forgotten what it means to be one. Friedrich Nietzsche, that prophet of the abyss, saw this coming. He wrote, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." But you're letting it kill you. Every unanswered text, every cold glance, every moment you twist yourself into knots to please her, it's a slow death. You're bleeding out, and you don't even see the wound. Nietzsche didn't beg for approval. He stared into the chaos of existence and demanded meaning from it. So why are you groveling? Here's the second truth. She doesn't love your desperation. She might use it, wield it, let it stroke her ego, but it repulses her. Women are mirrors reflecting back the man you choose to be. Show her a beggar, and she'll treat you like one. Show her a king, and she'll bow to your fire. Napoleon knew this. He said, "A woman is the most dangerous enemy when she is loved by a fool." And you've been a fool, haven't you? Chasing her whims, reshaping yourself to fit her fleeting desires, losing your edges in the process. Let me be clear. Her power isn't in her beauty or her words. It's in your emptiness. You've hollowed yourself out, traded your strength for a fantasy. Schopenhauer. That grim sage understood this. He called love a trap, a biological ruse that binds men to suffering. The more a man loves, he wrote, the more he suffers. And you're suffering, aren't you? Not because she's cruel, but because you've made her your god. You've knelt at her altar, offering your dignity, your purpose, your truth. And for what? A fleeting smile, a night of warmth. You're better than that, or you could be. Here's the third truth. You're not powerless. You've just forgotten how to wield your strength. You've let the world, her world, define you. You've bought the lie that your worth lies in her approval, in how many likes you get, in how many heads you turn. But Nietzsche spits on that lie. He said the noble soul has reverence for itself. Reverence, brother. Not for her, not for the world, but for you. For the man you were born to be. The man who doesn't beg, who doesn't bend, who stands like a mountain against the storm. Let me be clear. She doesn't want your worship. She wants your strength. She wants a man who burns with purpose, who knows his path and walks it without apology. Napoleon didn't conquer empires by chasing women. He conquered himself first. He forged his will in the fire of ambition, and women followed in his wake. Not because he was handsome or kind, but because he was alive. He was a force. And you're sleepwalking through your life, chasing a dream, that's eating you alive. Here's the fourth truth. Your desperation is a choice. You're not cursed. You're not doomed. You're choosing to stay small, to stay weak, to stay tethered to her approval. Carl Jung, that explorer of the soul's depths, warned of this. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." You call it fate, don't you? That she doesn't want you, that you're not enough, that the world is against you. But it's not fate. It's your shadow, the part of you you've refused to face. The part that's terrified of standing alone. Let me be clear. You're afraid. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of being unseen. Afraid of the void inside you, so you fill it with her voice, her touch, her fleeting attention. But it's a poison, brother. It's a chain. Jung knew this. He said, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents." And you're bearing it now, the unlived life of a man who never claimed his power. Your father, your grandfather, the men who came before you, they passed this burden down. But you can break it. You can choose to live. Here's the fifth truth. She doesn't need you to be her savior. She's not a damsel, and you're not a knight. You've romanticized her, turned her into a myth to justify your obsession. But she's human, just like you. Flawed, searching, struggling. Schopenhauer saw through this illusion. He wrote, "Women are not made for great things. They are made for small ones." Harsh, maybe. But his point wasn't cruelty. It was clarity. Stop putting her on a pedestal. Stop making her the center of your universe. She's not your purpose. You are. Let me be clear. Your purpose isn't out there in her arms or her approval. It's inside you, buried under years of doubt and distraction. Nietzsche called it the Übermensch, the man who creates his own meaning, who rises above the herd. You're not there yet. You're still in the herd, bleeding for her attention, conforming to a world that wants you weak. But you can climb. You can fight. You can become something greater. Not for her, but for you. Here's the sixth truth. You're addicted to the pain. You think you want her love, but what you really crave is the struggle, the chase, the rejection. It's familiar, isn't it? It's safe. Jung called this the shadow's grip, the part of you that sabotages your growth because it's terrified of change. You're not just chasing her, you're chasing the story of your own inadequacy. You're proving to yourself over and over that you're not enough. And it's killing you. Let me be clear, you can stop. You can step off this wheel of suffering. But it won't be easy. Nietzsche said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." You've got the chaos, brother. You feel it every day, the rage, the longing, the despair. But you're not using it. You're letting it consume you, channel it, forge it into something new. Let it fuel your transformation, not your destruction. Here's the seventh truth. She doesn't owe you anything. Not her time. Not her affection. Not her body. You've built this fantasy that if you're good enough, kind enough, strong enough, she'll choose you. But that's not how it works. Schopenhauer was brutal on this. Love is a deception, a lure to perpetuate the species. You're not owed her love because you want it. You're not owed her loyalty because you're loyal. The world doesn't work on fairness. It works on power. And right now, you're powerless. Let me be clear. Power isn't domination. It's not about controlling her or the world. It's about controlling you, your thoughts, your desires, your fears. Napoleon didn't rule by begging. He ruled by knowing himself, by mastering his impulses, by bending the world to his will. You've got that potential, but you're squandering it. You're letting her hold the reins because you're too scared to take them yourself. Here's the eighth truth: you're not alone in this. Every man feels it, the pull, the hunger, the ache. But most men drown in it. They let it define them. They build their lives around women, around approval, around external validation, and they die empty. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Most men never claim that privilege. They stay boys chasing pleading, apologizing for existing. But you can choose differently. You can choose. Let me be clear. Choosing differently means facing the fire. It means looking at the parts of you you've hidden, the fear, the shame, the weakness, and owning them. It means standing up, not for her, but for you. Nietzsche didn't write for the weak. He wrote for the man willing to wrestle with his demons to forge himself in the crucible of suffering. That's your path. Not her bed, not her approval, but the man you see in the mirror when the masks are gone. Here's the ninth truth: she's not your salvation. You think she'll fix you complete, you make you whole. But that's a lie you've told yourself to avoid the real work. Jung called it individuation, the journey to become whole, not through another, but through yourself. You're incomplete because you've abandoned yourself. You've outsourced your worth to her, to the world, to a system that profits from your weakness. Take it back. Let me be clear. Taking it back hurts. It means saying no. No to her games. No to your own excuses. No to the voices that tell you you're not enough. It means walking through the desert of your own soul alone until you find the oasis within. Napoleon didn't find his strength in women. He found it in solitude, in discipline, in the relentless pursuit of his vision. You've got a vision, don't you? Buried under the noise, under the pain. Dig it up. Here's the final truth. You're at a crossroads. Right now, you're choosing. Every day, every moment, you're deciding who you'll become. The man who kneels, who chases, who dies slowly inside. Or the man who stands, who walks alone, who carves his own path through the chaos. Nietzsche said, "You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew? If you have not first become ashes, you're not ashes yet, but you're close." Let me be clear. This is your challenge. Walk away, not from her, but from the version of you that needs her. The version that begs, that pleads, that measures his worth by her gaze. Walk alone. Face the void. Find your purpose, your fire, your truth. It won't be easy. It won't be quick. But it's the only way to live. The alternative is death, not of the body, but of the soul. A slow, suffocating death in the prison of your own weakness. So here's your transformation challenge. Choose today, right now. Walk alone or die slowly inside. Burn away the boy, the beggar, the fool. Become the man you were born to be. Not for her, not for the world, for you. The hum fades, the screen stays black. Silence. Your move.